welcome. Yes, you're in the new Providence, where niggas get to snapping like they got no common sense. When we approach with confidence, revoking confidence. His offense limp enough to throw the hardest to the fence. The raw is what it is, you can't stop it like jail runs. And ain't no topping him, he's opposite of well done. Rare without care, with clocks on the line. Comfortable with my flow, it's like I got Crocs on my rhymes. No, rocket science, but the
What's going on, world? It's your boy VL the Face FO back in the building.
Yes, sir.
We got our special guest host in here with us today, Boss 100. Hey, man, I seen you cracking a smile when they had Cody as the muscle. You know what I'm saying? What's so funny about that?
Hey, bro, I didn't know if it was time for me to run or. I was
afraid.
like, shit.
It's your boy.
Afraid.
What it do, bro? Flexing
What's
on
up,
them.
man? Thank you for joining us today, man. Fucking,
Appreciate you having me.
I also got my other co-host with me. What's going on, Jay Reezy, the gambler?
FO, baby, let's kick this show off.
Let's kick it off. Black it out, but coming back here, we got my boy Silly C with the numbers.
It's your boy. Get him.
It's your boy.
All right, man. We are here with our NFC breakdown, and we're going to go division by division and give you win totals, over-unders, etc. for different teams. Let's go ahead and start it where we left off with the intro. Silly C, what team do you got in the NFC North?
I have the Vikings. So let's start by saying last year, the Vikings were, bear with me 1 second. The Vikings were 7-9. I feel like this year they actually could maybe get 8 wins. I don't really see that though. Let me see what the actual numbers is on that.
Yeah, the over-under for the Vikings. Let's see what that's at. And for these over-unders, we'll just respond with a thumbs up if we think they'll go over. Thumbs down if we think they'll go under. Cody, what is the over-under for the Minnesota Vikings?
I'm grabbing that. I'll have that in 1 second. Come back to me.
I got it sitting at 8.5, and
8.5. Okay.
8.5, and the Vikings coming about the division is plus 250.
Okay. So there's the numbers. 8.5. I think. Oh man, it's tough. I can't go for it. There we go. I'm gonna go under. I could see him getting 10 wins though with that extra game. TJ, you're the only one that went over for sure. Why do you think the Vikings could go over 8.5 wins?
Just on the defense alone. I mean, I know they got a little bit to clean up after last year. Kirk Cousins, I mean, he's gonna fumble away some games, but as long as they ain't got too many primetime games, I ain't checked that. But I think they can get to 9 wins. You battling Detroit and Chicago. And with that, I see Justin Fields being able to take the field. And I think the Vikings can get 1, maybe 2 games from them with their defense. So that's why I'm going to push them to at least 9.
Yeah, Vikings still have like a top 10 roster in the league. They've been underperforming. Also really like their coach. I'm excited to see what they'll be able to put out on the field. Cody, you got anything storyline related for the Vikings?
Yeah, actually, I got 2 people that I'm kind of interested in this year. Chaz Surratt, he's a linebacker, 225 out of North Carolina. I'm kind of interested to see what he'll bring the defense and how much playing time he'll get.
Yeah.
And then we got Kenny Wilkes, defensive lineman. He's also a rookie out of Michigan State, 6'3", 264. He's a big boy. I think he definitely will show some presence on that defensive line.
Yeah, and already loaded. I'm sorry. An already loaded defense looks to reload with some young guns on defense in their draft picks. We'll go ahead and send it to the team that finished 3rd in the division last year. And my boy Jay Reese's second team, the Bears. Talk that stuff about the Bears, Jay Reese.
I got them sitting at plus 500 to come about the division. And 7.5 on the win totals. I'm going to go over.
7.5 for the Bears. I'm going to go under.
I'll go over this one. I think in this one they might go over that.
And what storylines do you have about your boys?
Oh man, I got a whole bunch of storylines, man. We just got some speedsters on the team, man. We got the boy Demir Bird playing wide receiver, Marquise Goodwin, just a few additions I didn't really know they even had. Man, Darnell Mooney is looking to step up. We already got Allen Robinson, man. That dude's a beast. David Montgomery, he's a little bit questionable, man. Like, I don't know, he's really underperformed the last couple of years. He just came on at the back half of last season due to a weak schedule, man. The Red Rifle. I really want to get into this, man. I think it's time to put him in the gun cage. Go ahead and box him up, man. Get him on the
other
vine.
side of Duck Hunt, huh?
Yeah, man. I'm not feeling him at all, man. They really need to get the boy Justin Fields acclimated up to speed. The only thing is they start out with the Rams. So Andy Dalton is playing the first game, but I think after he mucks that game up, they will have Justin Fields in there taking the field.
Wow, so you think Fields could outstart Dalton this year by over like 14 games, 15-1? You're thinking, do you see that early of a debut for Justin Fields, Mr. Boss 100?
I do. I mean, I give him on too. Do you want to compete, or do you want to eat first in the draft? I mean, there's only so many ways this can go. We know what Andy Dalton brings to the table. There's nothing Justin Fields is learning behind this man. Get him out there early. Let this man dance. He's, like I said, he's gonna bump his head repeatedly, but he's gonna win you games with all the intangibles he brings to the table. Do not let this man sit up until week 8 or to the bye week, and then you're gonna make that switch. No, you know what you have. Let him use them tools to get you some sneaky wins before defenses start adjusting for him and preparing for him like they know how. So,
yeah, that's going to be the big tell. I think there's only 2 ways that Matt Nagy keeps his job. One, he makes the playoffs, or 2, Justin Field comes in and shows like a great relationship with them, and they're able to show a ton of progress, kind of like Herbert last year. Even though Herbert's coach did end up losing his job, Jay Reeves, is that one too many ways for Nagy to keep his job, or is he out of here? What's up with Nagy?
I'm gonna tell you right now, another losing season. He's definitely up out of here. Not only is he out of here, but Pace, the general manager, he'll be gone as well. So they're both fighting for their jobs. They really need to get it together. Like TJ said, man, let that man take his bumps. I almost feel like too, with a 9-8 finish, if Justin Fields looks good, they could possibly save their jobs. But Nagy, he's on the hot seat, man.
He's on the hot seat. He's definitely one of the coaches that could be an in-season firing this year. Silly C, is there any fantasy players of impact you see coming from the Bears? You're muted.
I'm not sure. It depends on how quick they get Fields in there. Really, for some of these people I'm thinking of, as far as like Jimmy Graham, some of those other people, Anthony Miller, Cordarrelle Patterson, which will be an interesting, kind of switch pace play. I think that'll be interesting. So as soon as they can get him in there, I think those people will have a good one. But I think right now with Trubisky and Montgomery looks to probably be the key person you would want to look at right now.
Yeah, I mean,
I got a sneaky one for you, man. Damian Williams, man.
Yeah. I see that too.
He left the Kansas City Chiefs a year ago. He opted out last year due to COVID, and he came back on with the Bears. He's looking real good in preseason, guys. I don't know. Damian Williams is like he's got that spark, man. I don't really believe too much in David Montgomery, so Damian Williams, somebody to look for.
Damian Williams, you'll probably be able to get great value out of him. He's definitely going to come back scrappy, looking to bite kneecaps off, which kind of is the best segue into the next team we're going to talk about, Dan Campbell's Detroit Lions. Boss 100, what do you got to tell us about the Detroit Lions?
The Motor City, man. It's the heart of America's auto industry, but they didn't strip that shit down to the bricks.
The chop shop, the whole state got the chop shop.
They got it sitting on 4 flats, man. I don't know what they really plan on doing. With Dan Campbell married to Jared Goff at the moment, I see them on a one-way trip to hell.
That's so true.
Yeah, you kick off Matt Stafford, then you let Marvin go, Kenny Galladay, then you replace these tools with the likes of Jared Goff. Stay rolling the struggle bus. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you got Brashard Perryman. You got Tyrell Williams after kicking it for a year off. He's trying to come back, get reacclimated to the game. And then you got Amon St. Brown. You know, we got a rookie. So these ain't people that's exactly helping out a struggling quarterback. I think
No.
they both are setting their resumes up to be a position coach for Dan Campbell and for Jared Goff to settle in as that career backup. There's nothing that really intrigues me about Detroit, but their O line. Now, over the years, they've stacked and built
Mm-hmm.
on their O line, and they've been building from the trenches out. So I like that. I like that a lot, and that'll definitely complement Swift and Hawkinson once he gets somebody to deliver him a good ball. I don't think that's
Yeah.
going to be happening with Golf, but with the trenches, the way they've been building through the draft, that's the way they need to continue to move. But their defense is still bottom of the barrel, and with Golf giving up the ball, I don't see them doing too much this year. I mean, as
Well, I
far as
mean, oh, go ahead. Oh, what's
yeah,
their over unders?
yeah, over under for Detroit is sitting at. I think they're sitting at 5.
I
So
got it at 5.
yeah, so I scraped it together 3-3. You know, definitely scraped together 3 wins for him. So hey, look for Roger to be hollering at him, and hopefully they put some more investments in that line or put something on that defensive line because you gotta take care of them trenches and they'll take care of you. But Detroit, they doing what they do best, baby.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, Jared Goff, I guess if I was going to argue against your point about him not being able to do a lot with a little, I would say Robert Woods was kind of like the Ashy Larry in the Buffalo situation, like the third or fourth dude, not even the Charlie Murphy, you know what I'm saying? Like, kind of like the Ashy Larry. And Goff made him look really well. Cooper Kupp, who runs a good route tree, but is a limited athletic type receiver. He's made him do pretty well, and they both signed like 4-year deals on the arm of Jared Goff. Jay Reeves, am I onto something, or am I missing something with some of this Goff bash? And none of us gave him very many wins, but is Goff as bad as we were saying?
I kind of believe he is, man. It's really unfortunate that he went to Detroit. It almost seems like that's where he belongs, because whether you're talking about the Detroit Pistons or the Detroit Lions, man, Detroit is just dookie all the way around. With that being said, I am looking at TJ Hawkinson, man. I think he's going to get a lion's share of the targets this year, man. He's going to have a heavy workload, man. I think TJ Hawkinson, man, is about to really get off this year, regardless of how bad Jared Goff is.
Definitely. And Cody, as far as fantasy impact from the Lions, what are you seeing with Swift and some of those new receivers, Perriman, who has underperformed his draft value, other players like that? What are you seeing in fantasy value?
I don't know. You know, they've gotten rid of their whole team. I mean, when I look at some of the people from last year, you know, Marvin Jones, Galladay, all those people, they're gone. So Hawkinson, I think, will definitely be a breakout. One of the interesting things in my mind, though, is still Adrian Peterson. He's 35, but can he do anything this year? Will
He's
he?
on the streets.
Yeah, I don't
Is
think
he
they have a
still on the
roster.
street?
Yeah.
I have him. Okay, because I had him still on their roster. Okay,
No,
so
he's on.
well, with that being said, I'm not
He's
seeing
staying
much.
ready
I like
though.
he's ready if they want him back. Well, with that being said, I mean they also have Sanud, right? So
Yeah.
that's another person that could possibly be a Robert Woods, a little older, but I think I think Goff could actually pull off some things, but I just don't see it.
Yeah, I mean, they both say Hawkinson. Boss, how comfortable are you with your fantasy tight end room if Hawkinson's your TE1?
I'm comfortable because game schemes and game situations play right into this man's hand. But what doesn't is who's showing up, who's taking that double team off of Hawk. You know, who's gonna let this man eat? If he's the only one out there, I mean, you're gonna key on him and snatch him away from the game. So one of these other guys has to flash. And hey, maybe be the rook, maybe Tyrell Williams stretch the defense. But my thing is, Goff was made who he was in LA by scheme. So unless Dan Campbell can scheme some things up for this man, TJ Hawkinson, he's going to see a lot of targets. I don't know if he have a lot of receptions, but he is a number one. So.
Yeah, I mean, last but not least is the team that finished second in the NFC, the Packers. Man, I got the Packers out the NFC North. Their over under for win totals is at 10. I'm gonna go over that. Definitely gonna go over that. Aaron Rodgers is back. I can see them getting
Little
12,
hurt, little
13
sad, little mad.
wins. Yeah, and that's where I was kind of trying to adjust my other win totals off of is where these wins going to come from. Both Jay Rees and TJ have the Bears and the Vikings getting pretty good wins this year. So just wondering where their wins are going to come from because I know as far as the North goes, the Packers are going to take the lion's share and could go like 6-0, 5-1 in there. They're minus 270 to make the playoffs, minus 145 to win the North. Plus 550 to come out the NFC, and they're plus 1,200 to win the Super Bowl. So they're one of the odds-on favorites. Maybe not the top, but they're right below the top. Jay Rees, what do you see Lombardi at Field doing? Could they possibly get another Lombardi?
Man, here's the thing, man. My boy Aaron Rodgers. I like to call him Petty Pablo. The boy is extremely petty, man, and I just feel like he's going to do everything in his powers. Everything in his powers, even bringing back Randall Cobb to get to the championship. They've been knocking on the door at the NFC championship for the last couple of years. Something just in my heart tells me that it's going to be a KC Green Bay Super Bowl, and I think Aaron Rodgers could get the job done. And then once he does get the job done, you know what he's going to be like?
Deuces, because that's Petty Pablo, man. More storylines with them was the big seasons out of a lot of their players, Aaron Jones as well as Devontae Adams. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers won the whole MVP, so they're doing well. But I want to know what Cody thinks about extra fantasy value you might find on that team, like Robert Tonyan and etc.
I don't know. I think there's tons of extra value there, but it's really going to come down to those main people. You know, what's his name? Good old receiver. Sorry,
Alan Lazard,
Devontae. There we go. I couldn't think. No, Devontae. I think it's really going to come down to Devontae. Randall Cobb is obviously his quick over the center route runner.
Quick.
He still runs great routes. Cobb has always been a great route runner, and I think that will definitely produce over the middle for them. How much can he? How healthy can he be? That'll be interesting. And then, really, do they have enough of a running game to help Aaron Rodgers? Is kind of what I wonder sometimes.
They do.
TJ, so there's a good chance they'll probably get like the number 1, number 2 seed. So they'll probably only need one or two. They'll probably only need 2 victories to get to the Super Bowl. Do you see them winning 1 playoff game this year or 2 playoff games? And if you say 2, then that means you'll probably put them in the bowl.
Yeah, I definitely see 2. I mean, as far as taking care of both sides of the ball, they're there. You know, the defense is a little above middle of the pack. So they definitely complement the offense like they should. And then on top of that, they have one of the best lines, one of the best running games. And then you got somebody out there throwing darts. And then you got somebody out there catching darts. So, I mean, this is all good pieces of the puzzle. You know what I'm saying? I don't really see anyone really competing to knock them out of that NFC championship game, which is something I think they can reach. And, I mean, Tampa has something to say about that. We'll see when that time comes, but they are definitely right there to take the NFC Championship. So,
all right, man. Well, this will be an interesting division to watch. We'll keep it pushing, and F4 will be there along the way. Just remember that subscribe to the channel. So if you fuck with us, subscribe so you stuck with us. We'll get it popping. NFC show. Let's go.